For a while now, Kenya has been going through a lot of economic crisis, and they have had some problem with cash. And from speculation and for what people have been saying, they might not be able to finance their debt come next year. So the government of William Ruto have been struggling to secure more financial support from the international financial agencies like the IMF and the World Bank. So I think one of the requests just came through, and there's this article that said that IMF approves shilling 142 billion loan to Kenya, that the IMF has approved a loan to Kenya worth shilling 142.7 billion. So let's see what the whole article is saying. The International Monetary Fund announced on Thursday that it had reached an agreement on a $938 million loan for Kenya, an East African country facing liquidity problems and economic difficulties. Kenya's economy, the locomotive of East Africa, has been severely shaken by COVID-19, followed by the shockwaves of war in Ukraine and a historic drought in the Horn of Africa. Why do people always say that the economic crisis we are facing now is as a result of the war in Ukraine and COVID-19? Why? Why does everything have to be associated either with the war in Ukraine or the pandemic? Why? If these countries have been doing well before COVID-19, shouldn't they be doing well now? If these countries have really been self-sufficient in managing their affairs, shouldn't they be okay now? I have said it before and I will say it again, and many people have always been very angry with this statement, but I will keep on telling, especially my fellow African brothers, the problem in Africa is mismanagement. The problem in Africa is mismanagement. I will say it again. Africa has got a problem with mismanagement, and no matter how much money is being thrown to this problem, it cannot be solved. African leaders are corrupted. African leaders are big fraudsters. They embezzle almost every single thing. They will get this loan now, and you would think that they will reinvest it into things that will be very productive. My brother and sister, that would be a big lie, because they will embezzle, if not all of it, like 90% of it will be embezzled. And come next year, Kenya will still have the same problem. The problem would not have been solved. That's just it. People might think that going left and right and begging for money or getting loans will be the solution to Africa's problem. But they will be wrong. Ghana collected billions from the IMF. And what happened? They are still sinking as we speak. Where has all the money gone to? Where has it gone to? They are still sinking as we speak. Many countries in Africa are in the red zone. Why? They say COVID-19, war in Ukraine, Russia. But that's not it. Even before the COVID-19 and the war between Russia and Ukraine, they were facing the same problem of mismanagement. I will say it again and again and again. African leaders are the problem. Not all of them, but most of them. They have embezzled everything from their respective countries. Look at the way they live abroad. Most of them have properties abroad. Look at their immediate families. Most of them are millionaires, if not billionaires. Why the common African cannot afford any single thing? The political elite they live like kings. Yeah. So you might take offense with it, I don't care, but that's the truth. Africa must fix their leadership problem first. No matter how much money you throw on the leadership problem, it won't get fixed. It's a problem of morality. It's a problem of self-awareness. And this problem must be fixed first before any other thing can happen. But let's continue with the article. Public debt in the country of some 53 million inhabitants stood at over 10,100 billion shillings at the end of June, according to Treasury figures, representing around two-thirds of gross domestic product. Kenya is under pressure on its liquid assets, mainly due to the large Eurobond maturing in June 2024 in the amount of $2 billion, according to the IMF, which notes, however, a recovery in the agricultural and tourism sectors. William Ruto announced that the country would repay a first tranche of $300 million in December. This agreement still has to be validated by the IMF Executive Board, which meets in January. If approved, Kenya will have immediate access to $682 million, according to the financial institution. The economy has shown resilience with real GDP growth of 5.4 in the first half of 2023, mainly thanks to the solid recovery in the agricultural sector following the return of the rains, noted the IMF in a statement. So you can see, yeah, and there's one thing, right? There's one thing that get me so confused and sometimes makes me laugh, right? The thing is, you will hear African leaders or complaining about how biased these international monetary institutions are. I mean, like the IMF and the World Bank, right? African leaders will complain about it. Even William Ruto have said it, that the treatment that African countries get from these institutions is to one-sided. That they need to pay far more for the same amount of money they get than the West or the East. And that this is too one-sided and this has to change. But the irony is, even though they are complaining about being cheated and disfavored, they are out there still begging for the same money. It's like you are there saying that something is so disfavorable to you, and the people are not treating you fairly. And at the same time, you are collecting the thing you are complaining about. What does that say about you? What does that say about you? So that's it. That's the funny thing about all this. But you guys out there, let me know your take on this whole issue. Is the financial crisis in Africa as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and the war between Russia and Ukraine, or mainly due to bad governance in Africa? Share your thoughts and opinions with us in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, don't forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel, because little bit of good way, like the one you're doing just now, help us a lot, and we shall ever be grateful to you. So, thank you very, very much, and see you in the next one.